Ever heard of autistic inertia? Is it something you've come across before? If you're shaking your head, or even if you're nodding but aren't entirely sure what it means, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to demystify this term. Autistic inertia, to put it simply, is a common experience among individuals on the autism spectrum. It's akin to having a thought or idea, but struggling to transform it into action. Imagine wanting to get up and make a cup of tea, but your body and mind just don't seem to cooperate. That's a glimpse into what someone dealing with autistic inertia might feel. This hidden struggle can affect the most mundane tasks. Think about starting a conversation, getting out of bed, or even getting dressed. It's like being stuck in a mental and physical loop, unable to break free. But let's get one thing straight. Autistic inertia is not laziness. It's not stubbornness. It's a neurological characteristic that impacts executive functions, making it challenging to shift gears from one task to another. It's like trying to move a train that's at a complete standstill. It requires a tremendous amount of energy. And like many aspects of autism, inertia is not a one-size-fits-all phenomenon. It can manifest differently for each individual, with some experiencing it more intensely than others. For some, it might feel like a minor speed bump, while for others, it could feel like a brick wall. To get a clearer picture of this phenomenon, we'll be exploring two common types of autistic inertia: task initiation and task completion. Task initiation refers to the difficulty in starting a new activity, like a mental speed bump. On the other hand, task completion refers to the struggle to stop an activity once it's started, a bit like trying to stop a train that's already in motion. So, it's like being caught in a mental and physical loop, which is certainly not a choice. In the upcoming scenes, we'll delve deeper into the impact of autistic inertia, explore strategies to manage it, and discuss why understanding this concept is so important. So, stay tuned. Autistic inertia has two main manifestations: task initiation and task completion. Let's dive deeper into these facets of autistic inertia. Starting a new task, known as task initiation, can be a monumental challenge for individuals experiencing autistic inertia. Picture this: you're standing at the edge of a pool, ready to dive. You know the water is fine, but there's a hesitation, a pause that keeps you grounded. That's what task initiation can feel like. The brain seems to send mixed signals, creating a delay, a pause, a hesitation. It's as though there's a disconnection between the desire to start an activity and the physical act of beginning it. This can make simple tasks like picking up a pen to write a note or starting a conversation feel as daunting as scaling a mountain. Now let's look at the other side of the coin: task completion. This is the difficulty in stopping an activity once it has been started. Imagine being engrossed in a book, so lost in its world that you forget about everything else. That's a bit what it feels like. Once the inertia of starting is overcome and the activity begins, a new type of inertia sets in. This inertia makes it hard to stop, to shift gears, and move on to a different task. Even when the desire to stop is there, it can be incredibly challenging to break away. This can result in tasks taking longer than usual, leading to frustration and disruption in daily routines. So you see, it's not just about starting or stopping, it's about the struggle in between. It's about the constant push and pull, the tug of war between wanting to start, wanting to stop, and everything in between. Autistic inertia is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It varies from individual to individual, from task to task. But understanding these two main faces of it, task initiation and task completion, gives us a clearer picture of what this experience might look like. So it's a constant tug of war, starting, stopping, and then starting again. How does autistic inertia impact everyday life? This question takes us to the heart of the matter. The manifestations of autistic inertia are far-reaching, subtly shaping the lives of those on the autism spectrum. Imagine waking up in the morning, your mind filled with things you want to do. But there's a disconnect, a gap that's hard to bridge. Initiating the day becomes a daunting task. This is a reality for those grappling with autistic inertia. Everyday tasks that most of us take for granted become a mountain to climb. Getting out of bed, starting a conversation, or choosing what to wear can become overwhelming. It's like being stuck in a mental limbo, where motivation exists, but the ability to act on it is elusive. when an individual with autistic inertia finally manages to initiate a task, another challenge surfaces: the difficulty of stopping. Once engaged in an activity, they may find it hard to disengage and shift to another task. This can lead to tasks taking longer than usual, which can disrupt daily routines and lead to frustration. It's important to remember that this is not a choice, nor is it a sign of stubbornness or laziness. It's a neurological characteristic that affects the executive functions, making transitioning from one task to another a challenge. Autistic inertia can also have social implications. It can make spontaneous social interactions difficult, as initiating a conversation or responding promptly to social cues can be taxing. This can sometimes lead to misunderstandings and feelings of isolation. The impact of autistic inertia extends beyond the individual. It can strain relationships with family and friends who may not fully understand why tasks that seem simple can be so difficult. This can lead to feelings of frustration on both sides, but with understanding comes empathy. Recognizing the challenges brought by autistic inertia is the first step towards creating supportive environments. It's about acknowledging the invisible struggles and finding ways to navigate through them together. That's why understanding and addressing autistic inertia is so essential. It's not just about making tasks easier, it's about fostering understanding, patience, and acceptance in our society. So, what can be done to help with autistic inertia? Well, the good news is that there are several strategies and accommodations that can make a significant difference. Let's delve into some of these methods. One very effective strategy is breaking tasks down into smaller, more manageable steps. This can help to make a task more approachable and less overwhelming. Imagine a staircase. It's much easier to climb a staircase one step at a time than to leap to the top in one bound. Similarly, breaking a task down into smaller parts can make it less daunting and more achievable. Another helpful strategy is the use of visual supports, such as schedules or checklists. These tools provide a clear roadmap for tasks, helping to reduce the anxiety that can come with transitioning from one activity to another. They can act as a guide, showing what needs to be done and in what order, which can be particularly helpful for those who struggle with task initiation and completion. But perhaps the most important factor in supporting someone with autistic inertia is patience, understanding, and support from those around them. Family, friends, and professionals can all play a crucial role in this. Remember, autistic inertia is not a choice. It's a neurological characteristic that presents real challenges. Therefore, a gentle, supportive approach can make all the difference. This might mean giving the person more time to complete tasks, offering reassurance when they're finding it difficult to start or stop an activity, or just being there to listen and understand when they express their frustrations. Remember, everyone's experience with autistic inertia is unique, and what works for one person might not work for another. So it's all about finding what works best for the individual. With these strategies, we can help individuals navigate through autistic inertia. By understanding and accommodating for these challenges, we can create a supportive environment that acknowledges and respects the unique experiences of those on the autism spectrum. It's all about fostering inclusivity and understanding, and that starts with each and every one of us. Why is it important to understand autistic inertia? Understanding autistic inertia is crucial not just for those on the spectrum, but for everyone. It's about empathy, understanding, and inclusivity. By raising awareness about autistic inertia, we can foster a society that is more understanding, patient, and accepting of the unique challenges that individuals on the spectrum face. Let's consider this. We all have certain challenges that we face on a daily basis. For some, it could be something as simple as getting out of bed in the morning. For others, it could be initiating a conversation. Now imagine having the desire to do these things, but feeling as though you're stuck in a mental and physical loop. This is what individuals with autistic inertia experience. By understanding this, we can be more patient and supportive. We can avoid labeling individuals as lazy or stubborn, and instead recognize that they are facing a genuine neurological challenge. This understanding can also guide us in developing strategies and accommodations that can help individuals navigate through their inertia. Moreover, Understanding autistic inertia can also lead to more inclusive practices in our schools, workplaces, and communities. By being aware of the challenges faced by individuals with autistic inertia, we can create environments that are more accommodating and supportive. For instance, schools can implement strategies to help students with task initiation and completion. Workplaces can provide accommodations such as flexible working hours or the option to work from home. Communities can engage in activities that raise awareness about autism and neurodiversity. In essence, understanding autistic inertia is about acknowledging and respecting neurodiversity. It's about recognizing that we all have unique needs and challenges, and that these differences should not be a barrier to inclusion, but rather an opportunity to learn, grow, and support one another. By understanding autistic inertia, we can make a difference in the lives of those who experience it.